Hello everyone, my name is DK50s, and today we're going to be reviewing So, let's do a little recap. Last time we reviewed Sonic 1. Had a lot of flaws, just like always, but you can't fix what isn't broken. Except for STI, they did, and they did it well. Anyway, just a disclaimer, I did play on real hardware, and the footage you see is captured on emulator because I don't think I can record it off the Mega Drive itself. Mostly because I don't have a capture card and, I have to get a phone stand and everything. Emerald Hill, it's a classic with its Green Hill-like quality, Green Hill-like level design, Green Hill-like Green Hill. It's a Green Hill clone, obviously the first one. But it is more colourful and it's very fun. Now, one thing I like is that you can earn all the Chaos Emeralds in the first 2 acts of Emerald Hill. Right off the bat, you'll hear that Sonic 2's music is slightly more optimised. All the sound effects are still in 50Hz because it would just feel weird with the gameplay and it'd just be out of sync. Again, just like Green Hill, this level is filled with loops and secrets. One of the big differences in this game, except for 4 of the zones, is that every zone has 2 acts. 1 normal act and 1 boss act. The boss in this zone? Surely it's just as challenging as the boss in Sonic 1. You're wrong, because a 3-year-old can complete this one. You see, Robotnik tries to run you over with his car thing. It's a spike. I don't know why there would be a car like that, but he made it, I guess, so it all makes sense. It's the easiest boss in all of video game history, essentially. I mean, it's up there with the first Bowser fight in the Super Mario Bros. For the NES. This zone, I'll be honest, it is one of the best zones in the game, especially for speed, although I could never get past it as a kid, just like many of you couldn't, I'm sure. Of course, now it's a different story, having completed the game multiple times, even on mobile. This zone is Robotnik's chemical plant, hints in the name. And because of this, it's filled with traps, weird blue ball thingies, poisonous purple chemical water. Though, unlike Marble Zone, which is lava and stuff, and slow, very slow, this zone is very fast, even having sections where you outrun the camera. And, that's pretty cool. Fun fact, if you have 1 life and go to that part underwater with Spikes in Act 2, then spin dash into the pit of Spikes as the drowning timer reaches 0, you can get 255 lives. It's pretty useful. In 50Hz, the zone is obviously a bit slower, and as I said before, you'll hear that the drowning music is slower. And yes, it is unoptimized. All sounds carried from Sonic 1 are, but this is because of the timing and pacing, as I said before. The boss in this zone is another easy one, as you can cheese it. The gist is, you just gotta avoid the chemicals. The zone is another easy one. As you run through some watered down ruins, the bandits here are what really make this zone annoying, as they'll pop up from walls or even just thin air. What's worse is that you can barely keep your rings here because of these bandits. I know this is a pretty short one, but the boss is another one that can be cheesed by bouncing on him and then going back onto the pillars that rise when the boss starts. Basically, the plan is that he hits the pillars with his big hammer, and then an arrow would shoot out at Sonic. This zone is my favourite. It reminds me of the times I played Luigi mini-games in Mario 64 DS. This zone has you running through a casino to stop a mad scientist. But what's the point of being in a casino if you can't earn some rings? So that's exactly what you can do. Lots of them, in fact, unless Robotnik decides to screw you over with the slot machines. Of course, there's also a lot of bouncing, like pinball machines. The boss in this zone is based off pinballs. Speaking of the boss, this is one of the ones you really can't cheese. The boss has Robotnik shooting bombs and electrocuting you. It's worth to note that in 50Hz this zone can get pretty annoying, as if you don't like bouncing, you may hate the stage. And that is it for part 1. I'll see you in part 2 with the rest of the zones, and then in part 3 I will go through the extras, so please like and subscribe, leave a comment. I'll see you all in the next one.